This dog's head was huge and swelled. But how did he end up in that situation? In 2022, a woman saw this puppy wandering around the streets of Houston, Texas. The dog's head was huge and swelled, the weight was so heavy that his entire head dragged down. The dog was obviously homeless, yet no one stopped to help. He had been hiding in an abandoned apartment complex, only heading out during the day to look for food. Fortunately, the woman who found him contacted rescuers. The dog was too terrified to enter their cage, so they had to trick him. When they did, they took him to an animal hospital. He clearly needed immediate care. The dog looked so sad because he had been ignored for so long. He had lost hope that anyone would ever care for him. This dog is still a puppy. He was just 10 months old at the time. But how did his skull grow like this? It turned out that someone placed her shoestring around his neck, possibly as a collar, but as he grew, the shoestring remained on his neck, preventing his neck from growing. To make matters worse, medics discovered 26 gunshot shrapnels in his leg. Despite this, he survived several months on the streets. This dog had an incredibly tough life, but he was happily saved by Houston K-911. He was at the hospital recovering for 1 month, but after that time, he was taken to a loving home. And over time, he realized he was finally safe. He now lives a happy life in a home with other dogs. The dog's new owner named him Gus, and he now visits schools, where students learn about Gus's incredible story. Gus is just one dog, but there are thousands of homeless pets out there living miserable lives. Hopefully, one day they can all be saved and adopted like us. There was another dog named Boonrod, a dog who got stuck on an oil rig. Imagine workers being surprised to find a dog holding onto the rig 140 miles away from the coast of Thailand. They stopped everything they were doing to rescue him. When they found him, he was all wet, tired, and really thirsty. He might have been carried away by the sea before reaching the rig. The workers named him Boonrod, which means survivor in Thai, because he managed to survive this tough situation. One of the workers felt a special connection with Boonrod and decided to adopt him, giving him a loving home. Next one is about a raccoon that got stuck in a net. Another is about a tiger named Asher, and then there's a story about a dog stuck in a plastic pipe. Each of these stories shows how animals can get into tricky situations, but with help and care, they can come out safe and sound. There was another story of a dog and his rescuers. A kind man and his son found a dog stuck in a pipe. The man gently pushed the dog towards the hole, while his son helped pull the dog out. They took the dog home on their bike, giving it a loving and caring home. Next, there's a touching tale about a hungry fox. Despite being scared, one freezing day in Russia, the fox approached a man for help. The man had only a Snickers bar, which he gave to the fox. Surprisingly, the fox accepted the chocolate bar and walked away, feeling grateful. Then, there's the story of a skunk in distress. A woman spotted a skunk with a jar stuck on its head while walking in the snow. Realizing the skunk was in trouble, she carefully removed the jar, saving its life. Without her help, the skunk would have suffered and possibly passed away because it couldn't eat or drink. In Africa, an unexpected encounter occurred during a safari. A zebra was found lying on the ground, and at first, people feared it had been harmed by poachers. However, it was simply dehydrated. The compassionate people offered their water to revive the zebra, and thankfully, it made a full recovery. These stories show how people's kindness and compassion can make a huge difference in the lives of animals. They remind us that animals truly are our friends, and it's important to lend a helping hand whenever we can. Now, it's your turn to share your thoughts.